find your voice. Find your voice. Find who you are and don't be afraid to stand up for yourself. That's what we're going to talk about today on Hey Sister by 2Q Sister. If you didn't know where you are, I'm LaWanda Shields. And let's get right into this podcast. Find your voice. So often we as women either quiet our voice down or we don't quite speak up or speak out for ourselves like we should. I want you to know today that it is okay. It is okay to speak up for yourself. It is okay to embrace who you are. Don't let anyone make you feel bad about speaking up for yourself. Don't let anybody punk you down and tell you to be quiet. Speak up for yourself. I'll give you an example. If you happen to work in a place where other people are always taking center stage, where they're always stopping you from saying or doing or being what you need to be, then you need to do an evaluation within yourself. Do I need to speak out and let them know that this is offensive to me, or do I need to find another place of employment? I mean, you have to ask yourself these questions. There is a popular, I don't know what you would call it, tune going around on Instagram. I've also heard it on Facebook, and I'm sure it's probably on TikTok. It's about don't let other people make you feel small, and it goes on to talk about how if you're being underutilized, you're not being appreciated, then you need to do something different. So that's what I want to talk to you about today. It's the same premise. Don't let someone else try to make you feel small, because what they're doing is trying to make themselves seem or be big, and maybe they are, but maybe they're not as big as you. And it took me years of going through life to figure out the people that were doing that were people that were actually jealous of who you were, jealous of your potential, jealous of the gifts that you have been given. But don't quieten your voice or don't make yourself seem small just so you can make someone else seem big, so you can make them comfortable. Because what it is, they're jealous of you or they're uncomfortable around you because you have such a big personality, you have such a big voice. Don't let that person do that to you. Embrace who you are. Embrace your strengths and your flaws. It's okay to have flaws. Don't allow someone to make you feel bad because you talk a certain way. Because like I talk country, and I'm well aware that I have a southern accent, but I'm from the South, and I'm okay with that. But don't allow people to make you feel bad. So speaking of that, there was a time when I posted a video. It's been about a year or two ago, and someone wanted to talk about my dialect because I speak with a southern accent. But I am not ashamed, and I think I gave him a response. I'm not ashamed. I'm from the South. I'm proud that I'm from the South. I like the way I talk. It could stand some correction, but I am not ashamed of who I am, and no one is going to make me be ashamed that I am an African American woman who lives in the South, and I speak with a Southern slang. That is how my voice sounds, and that's how it is. So you can either count that as a flaw or you can count that as an asset, but don't allow anyone to make you feel bad because of the way you talk or the way you look or the way you dress or where you're from. And said all that, be sure that you learn to embrace your failures. Don't be ashamed of where you failed. So often we are ashamed of our failures. We're ashamed to admit that we made mistakes, but mistakes are a part of being human. There is nothing wrong with making a mistake. If you've made some mistakes, please feel free to share them in the comments below. We're not judging here. Just admit, hey, I made a mistake. I did this, I did that. And what did you learn from? Mistakes are only bad when we learn nothing from them. We learn nothing from our mistakes. We have to get up, dust ourselves off, and start all over again. So don't let anyone make you feel bad because you've made mistakes. Don't let them make you feel bad because you have flaws. There is nothing wrong with having flaws. Don't let anyone make you feel bad because of your financial situation. Unless you went somewhere and you did something really, really stupid, and it is your fault that you have absolutely nothing, or your bank account is not where you want it to be right now, or it's not where it's going to be later, don't let anyone make you feel bad. I was having a conversation with one of my girlfriends the other day, and we were talking about how, we were talking about money. We were talking about us as African American women. And I said, it's a shame that we didn't start out doing the CDs. We didn't put back we didn't get our kids those Roth IRAs, or we didn't do this and we did that. She said, holy girl, have you stopped for a minute? Have you forgotten? And she reminded me, and really, I guess I had. She said, a lot of us are living paycheck to paycheck. She said, a lot of women don't invest because they don't have. She said, it's not that they don't want to or that they don't know, but they don't have. And I stopped and I thought about it. I said, you know what? She has an absolute point. There are a lot of us who don't have, who work at jobs and we don't make enough to pay all of our bills. Or if we pay all of our bills, we are not allowed the luxury of doing the extra. That means of getting the CD, of getting the Roth, investing in the Roth IRA for our kids. Or we're not able to invest in the stock market like someone else who doesn't have children. Or we need that second income. And a lot of times, some of us just don't have it. Because if you're like me, and I am a single mom, I'm a single parent. So because I am a single parent, that means all of the income that comes into my house for my child, the one that's still at home, comes from me mainly. So it's things hit kind of different when you realize some things. So I don't feel bad anymore. And I was watching this show about money management. I cannot remember the name of it, but it was a lady, and she was rich, literally. She had an income that would blow your mind, but when they did her stuff, she had $5 in the bank. And this was not an African American woman. I mean, she was a rich Caucasian lady, and she had $5 in the bank. But she had all this other income coming in, but it came in, but she spent it. So don't let anyone make you feel bad because of your present situation. Just know your present situation is where you are for the moment, and that you're going to come out of this situation. That doesn't mean that this is where you're going to stay. And that's what I want to talk to us about again. Find your voice. Feel okay with finding your voice. Be okay with embracing those faults. Be okay with embracing those failures. Learn to find your uniqueness. Be unique. There's nothing wrong with being unique. There's nothing wrong with having a mind of your own. And some people will try to make you feel like you should not think for yourself. You should be one of the followers. I'm not a follower. I'm a leader. And so I have had the experience of working in places where people wanted everyone to be a carbon copy. Well, I'm not a carbon copy. And there's nothing wrong with you not being a carbon copy. You can be unique and individual. You can think for yourself. You don't have to do what your neighbor does. You don't have to do what your cousin does. You do what works for you. Be unique. We are not in a place or in a time where we have to give in to the wishes or the conform to the ideals of others. You can have your own mind. You can think for yourself, and let's do that. Let's do that as individuals. Another thing that I really want to say today, I really want to emphasize, is that we need to support each other. As women, we need to support one another. It is okay to support another woman. I tell you something else, it's okay. It's okay to tell another lady that she looks nice. I have noticed that with us, again, African American women, we seem to have a problem with telling another woman that she looks nice, the clothes are pretty. I think we have been taught to be so competitive until we are hesitant to give props where props are due, or we are so jealous of each other. And it's like crabs in a bucket. When one gets up, we want to snatch them down. But that's not the way we need to be. We need to be where we are helping each other. We are supporting each other. We are encouraging each other to be all that we can be. And if you know something that can help your fellow sister, help your sister out. Give her a hand. I also grew up in a time when we were encouraged to be competitive, to try to get the best. And then I'll never forget, I listened to Louise Hay. And she made this statement. She said, there's more than enough. There's more than enough wealth in the world for everybody. There's more than enough wealth here in the United States for everybody. She said, if you go out to the ocean, it doesn't matter if you take a bucket. She said, if you take a thimble, you can take a pipeline. She said, whatever you want. You still not going to run out of ocean when you go out there and get your little bit of it. And so when I realized that it was okay for me to have, and for my neighbor to have, and the next lady to have, I realized I can help someone else. It's okay if I help the teacher next door. It's okay if I help my sister next door. If I know how to get a grant, then it's okay if I explain to somebody else how to get a grant. I don't have to selfishly grab all and try to keep my neighbor from getting it. Okay, so I have a little more in the bank. Okay, that's fine, but help your sister get something in the bank too. I tell you, I have to give props where props are due. Whitney Bounds, who is she does that home jobs, work from home jobs. She tried and true work from home jobs. She does this whole YouTube channel. She has a whole Facebook group. It's the best thing ever. But she says, I learned this and I learned the hard way, but I'm going to share it with you. Thank you, Whitney. Thank you, Whitney Biles, for that. Hats off to you, because she explained it too, that it's okay to help someone else. She says, I've been where you are and I want to help you get to someone else. When you get to your next level, when you are where you're trying to be, don't hesitate to help someone else. Your blessings flow when you help others. When you can put you aside and you can begin to reach out to someone that has less than you do, then you have arrived. So don't do that. Don't hesitate to support other women. We have to support each other and be resilient. That means you can make it. You can make your comeback. You can recover from whatever the world throws at you. Yes, you can make it. You can do it. Believe in yourself. And I want to leave you with this. Talk positive. Speak positive about yourself, about your business, about where you are going. Speak life into your situation. There is nothing too hard for you to do. And I got to throw this little spiritual saying in there. It's nothing too hard for God. And if he is with you, he is more than the world against you. You can make it. You're going to do it. Speak life. Speak positive. Forgive yourself for your faults. Forgive yourself for your failures. Take them, embrace them, and allow them to help prepare you into who you're going to be. Be resilient, be unique, and find your voice. Speak up for who and what you are. I thank you guys so much for listening to this podcast. If you want to share what you are believing for, what you're going to do to help yourself get further, how you're going to find your voice, please let me know in the comments below. Or just let me know. We want to share in the joy and glory with you. I thank you because this channel is growing. It is about to grow by leaps and bounds. It has already been spoken into my spirit. I already know. So guys, I thank those original ones of you that have come along for the ride, who are going to be here for the rest of the venture, the rest of the journey. So I thank you guys so much for listening. Again, this has been Hey Sister by 2Q Sister. And I'll see you guys in the next podcast.